Afternoon everyone. So finally another video. Feels like it's been absolutely ages since I last put one out, but as you can see behind me, the car's packed, which means it can only be match weekend. Now me and the Carp King, if you joined the live stream, you would have noticed that we're fishing as a pair this weekend in the Southwest Carpers Championship match. Now this will be one of two qualifiers which will hopefully see and take us through to the final, where we can get our hands on some juicy amount of money. So this video is going to be purely about the weekend, the highs, the lows, tactics, baiting up, literally everything throughout the weekend that we can think of that we can put on a video for you. There's going to be of some interest, and fingers crossed hopefully some fish along the way. Got extra spare clothes down there because it's going to be an absolute freezing one. Typically we've had, you know, decent conditions over the last 7 to 10 days, some real nice mild spell, and thought we've seen the back of winter with the you know, the beast from the east as such, but seems like it's making a return typically for this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be a fresh one. So got all the spare clothes down there, and yeah, all that's left to do now is get this car moving, get down to the venue and go and have a little look around, meet up with my partner in crime, Chris Fennell, and fingers crossed we can pull ourselves out a decent peg and like I say, nick a couple of fish along the way. So that's enough from me now. Let's get down to the venue and meet with everybody. So probably just after 2:30, we've made it to the venue. Well, I say we, Chris is just on his way. He's had to work today, so he's not too far away, but just been and signed in, so we're all in for the match. And Sam, the organiser of the Southwest Carpers group and matches, he's super organised, got everything in a little pack. So you've got your rules, your lake map, your score sheet in there as well. Obviously if you have any fish throughout the session, they come and sign that off, and the marshals keep one as well. So it's all done above board, you know, no cutting corners. It is an actual proper, you know, organised and official match. So just come up to a few of the swims. I'm in sort of peg 3 at the moment, just having a little look around for any little signs or any little giveaways where the fish might be. The last match that they had in February, all the fish seemed to be held up in peg number 6, and funnily enough, that was Sam who was in that match, and he actually won. And like I say, no one else around the lake actually caught. So even though there's quite a lot of pressure on the lake, it does seem that they could well be localised to one area in particular. So I'm just going to have a little walk around the lake while I'm waiting for Chris to arrive, to see if I can spot any little signs of fish, you know, any little giveaways, any little, you know, breaks to the surface, any bubbles, just anything that might give away their presence around, you know, each of these 12 little areas. Because as you can see from the map there, it's the wrong way round, but you can see it's obviously 12 little separate areas of water, which obviously everyone's got a piece to fish to, and that involves obviously little cut throughs. Move a bit closer, little cut throughs, channels, reeds, you know, corner areas. So each area has got a piece of, you know, something to fish to. So it's really going to be keeping my eyes out and keeping my eyes peeled really, and see if I can see anything moving around in between obviously all these different little channels and amongst these little islands behind me. So I'm just going to have a little mooch around, walk around for half an hour, see what I can see, go and get the barrow and that loaded up, and then wait for the draw to commence. Not really too sure what Chris has got in mind. We haven't really spoken about peg choice, anything like that at the moment. So obviously if I see anything on the way around, I'll be sure to share it with him. But yeah, until then, let's go and have a little mooch around the lake, see if I can see anything, and I'll come back to you once Chris has arrived. draw's all been made. Can't remember if we come out about 5th or 6th in the draw, but we got one of our choices anyway of swim. This sun is so bright, it's directly in our faces at the moment. It's actually quite nice, but this weekend it's going to soon change around. So yeah, back to the draw. We've made our swim choice. We're in peg 11, so next door to the one that we fished in last year. And he's here. He's arrived. Carp King's arrived. We had a quick lap when he got here. Just had a quick look around, see if we could see anything, you know, make our decisions on kind of where we wanted to get in and stuff like that. And we kind of both come to a very similar conclusion on peg swims, so peg choices. So it's pretty apparent there were some that were a no-no, but yeah, we've made our choice. Swim 11. One I haven't fished before because I've only fished the place last year. Chris, what about you? Have you
I've never fished this one either.
Never fished it, so a fresh one for both of us. If you can see, that is behind us. We have got what, 1, 2. We've got 3 sort of entry points from separate areas of the lake. So we've got 3 channels.
Well, 4 sort of.
1, possibly 4. We've got an island directly in front of me, an island to the left of Chris with a nice long chuck that he can get his solid bags up there. But now the mission starts of getting this lot set up. Chris has brought his bulky lot over, all his bulky stuff over.
I've brought my chair.
He's got his chair so he can sit and watch me, give him a bit of a rig masterclass from last year. But yeah, we've got about half an hour before we can start leading around, markering up, sort of baiting up, that sort of thing. So just going to get the brollies and the set up, just kind of get base camp set up really quickly, and then we can start, like I say, at 4:30. When the first hooter goes, we can start messing around and, you know, getting the distances on the casts and stuff. So for now, let's get cracking on. Chris has got to go back to the car and go get his barrow and last bits and pieces. But for yeah,
all my bits and pieces,
all his bits and pieces, yeah, bar his chair. So yeah, for now, leave it there. Let's go fishing. Right, mega quick update. Home is set up. That sun is still shining and I am sweating my nuts off. So in a massive rush trying to get this lot organised so that obviously I can be ready for when that hooter goes, so I can start having a quick lead around. Yeah, everything's in, everything's out of the way of the mud and stuff. Rods are set up. I can't even see. Rods are set up. Spawn rod. I'll talk you through everything over the course of this weekend as the video goes on, rigs wise, bait wise, tactics, myself and Chris. Chris has got his home set up as well. Literally just popped back to the car to get his kit now that that's all set up. And yeah, we can start, like I say, having a little lead around. Probably in the next few minutes the hooter's going to go off and we can start baiting up and whatnot. So for now, gonna leave it there. We're in swim 11, one that Chris hasn't fished before. I've obviously only fished last year with Chris in the match in next door. So we're just going to take it for what it is this weekend. So let's quickly get some rigs sorted in the meantime while we're just waiting for this hooter. And then once we've found some spots and decided on what our tactics are going to be for the weekend, we'll come back to you. Right, so I just spent a good 10-15 minutes having a little lead around and what's on sort of my half of the swim as such, where obviously it's a split swim because me and Chris are fishing next to each other. Chris has got the left side, I've got the right. So I've just been having a little lead around in my sort of area of water, and directly in front of me, I'll show you tomorrow. We've got loads of time to go through sort of swim layout and stuff like that, but tomorrow I'll go through that in a bit more detail. But what I've got in front of me is an island which kind of just bends in. It's got a nice little alcove sort of into the middle of the island. Now what I'm going to do is keep one rod on that throughout the whole weekend. It's an obvious feature. I've put a lead out on it. It's just over 9.5 wraps and it is really clean. So that's going to be one that's staying out there, going to see bait regularly over the course of the weekend, and that's going to be sort of like a banker spot. Now my right hander that's just going to be dotted around, I think, for the moment, until things maybe materialise throughout the weekend. But like I say, we'll go into all that sort of stuff tomorrow and over the course of the weekend. Just before I put the actual rods out, you may have just heard the hooter in the background. I want to just talk through quickly the setup and what I've got on rigs and stuff, what I'm going to put out for tonight at least anyway. So as usual, let me just get some line off this reel. As usual, I'm using the Corda Session Pack, which comprises of rig tubing, lead clip, obviously the lead clip sleeve, which allows you to just obviously slot your lead onto the clip. I've talked you through this before. It's where I use it everywhere and anywhere I go, and it obviously meets most fisheries needs and rules, so there's no real need to change it. So yeah, you've got your lead clip on there. The wind and that ain't too bad. It's a nice clear sort of still night tonight, so I'm going to use a 2.5 ounce flat pair. Now this will sit flush on the lake bed, won't go diving into any silt or any soft clay or soft bottom, and it will just, like I say, sit flush on the lake bed. Now rig wise, I'm going to be using the Corda semi-stiff in £20. It's supple enough to sort of lay down nicely, and it's stiff enough to give the hook bait a nice kick away when obviously you're casting out in the the lead's hitting the water. This is tied slip D style. You've got a little bit of a break obviously nearer the shrink tubing at the end, yellow wafter, and a little imitation maggot tipper on the top there. Now I'm going to use yellow this weekend, or at least to start with, because last time I was down here fishing our last match, yellow seemed to be the one that was doing me the fish. So I'm going to, we're going to definitely stick with yellow for a little while anyway, or the best part of the weekend until otherwise, because obviously we might need to chop and change colours of the hook baits. We've got all sorts of different colours, bits and pieces in here, so I've got enough to cover me and cover all bases if need be. But for now, slip D rigs on both, yellow on one, sort of a pellet neutral style colour on the other one. The hooter's just gone. Time to get these bad boys out in the lake, sit back for a couple of hours and just watch the water and see what materialises. Right, evening everyone. So it's probably just coming up to 7 o'clock. The rods have been out good hour or so, at least hour and a half. Swim settled, put a little bit of bait out, which I said we'll go through that tomorrow when there's a bit more daylight hours and everything isn't so much of a rush. I was smashing my pasta, absolutely starving. Chris has just cooked himself up a nice curry, so not going to appreciate that tonight when there's certain smells coming from that direction.
Might be a warm southwesterly morning.
Yeah, don't know about these northeasterlies, but there's certainly going to be some warm southwesterlies blowing from a certain direction over there. But yeah, all quiet at the moment. Just a quick update there. There has been 2 fish out already. I believe a 15 and an 18. So yeah, there are a couple of early fish come out. But we have seen one roll just in the centre of, sort of bang middle of our swim. Only a few rod lengths off from where my right hander is, to be honest. So not going to disturb anything tonight. Because if there is 1 or 2 mooching around out there, don't want to now go reeling in, dropping the lead back out and stuff when my right hander is in quite close proximity of where the fish rolled. So hopefully that bag's just got enough on it just to draw fish in. It was just a single hook bait with a PVA bag on it, so I didn't put any bait out over the top. It was just one parcel for one bite. So if there are like I say, if there are 1 or 2 fish getting around, then yeah, hopefully they might just find that little parcel of bait. But for now, gonna leave it there, just gonna chill out, just staying warm, because really clear night, no clouds, crystal clear, and you can really feel that temperature drop as well. So like I say, got a full belly. Chris is just tucking into his tea, rods are out, everything's sorted for the night. So we're just going to see it through for the night and actually see what happens. Obviously if anything does happen, then we'll get the cameras straight back out, you'll be the first to know about it. But for now, just going to enjoy the rest of the evening, kick back, chill out, then we'll see what progresses over the next sort of 12 hours, and then go from there in the morning. So if you don't hear from us through the night, we'll catch up with you in the morning, show you sort of like the swim layout, what we've been doing and what we're going to be doing, and bits and pieces like that. So for now, good night, fingers crossed we'll have one or two through the night for you. Oh man, so completely out of the blue, was just grabbing the camera to literally do an intro piece to from last night to this morning, and the right hand rod that I've kind of just put off the edge of the spit, sort of just in open water, just literally rattled off completely out of the blue. Didn't expect it at all. Just tried wiping out my other rod as well, but there's a fish on, and after an extremely quiet night, this is more than welcome. Keeps trying to do me and my other line, and doesn't feel anything massive, but as long as it's above £5, that's all that matters. We've got a nice little mirror. Come on, come on, come on, get in there, it's in there. First of many, I hope. Right, so as you would have probably saw whilst I was playing that fish, I had every intention of just giving a quick intro to this morning, and you know, just telling you about what's not been happening for us and others around the lake. When a little bit to my disbelief, the right-hander that I've got in just sort of open water of the channel absolutely rattled off. So it's absolutely freezing, my hands are freezing, that wind is really picking up, but luckily for us we're on the back of it. But a result, we've got a fish on the map. We've yet to weigh it because we just wanted to get everything sorted before we get Sam and I think it's Craig round, but Chris even. Yeah. But here we go. The result of just one single bag in the open water channel area, and like I say, a good mid upper double, and like I say, the result of a quiet night but a very fruitful morning. Taken on a juice dumbbell wafter, one of the new ones, a pellet coloured one, so neutral colour, and the PVA bag just had some oily crumb and dead white maggot. So this has been out there all night, so I generally don't know how much of that PVA bag is actually left down there, but still, he's found my hook bait, and that's all that matters. So we're going to just slip him back in the margin, give Sam and Craig, Chris, a call, and we'll let you know very shortly just how much this one's weighed. We'll catch up with you soon, guys.
Yeah, deja vu. You got the first fish last year in the morning, and it's the same again.
It's like a block of ice, I'm not gonna lie, but still, I take these every day of the week.
It means we're on the board.
We're off the mark. We're on the board, and let's hope there's a few more of these to come over the course of the weekend. I'll speak to you soon.
I need to know you'll be here in time. I need to know you'll be here in time.
So, as you would have just seen just a minute ago, believe it or not, that fish actually went £20 15 ounces, which to me was a massive surprise. Puts us in third place at the moment, but well over, I don't know, probably close to 36 hours left yet. But the rod went straight back out, managed to sort the fish out in the net, unclip the sort of terminal tackle end safely, so the fish was just resting in the net, which allowed me to get the rod straight back out into the same area as I had that fish from, obviously wasting no time and maximising any opportunity of obviously trying to bag another fish. But yeah, just want to give you a quick update. £20 15, which like I say, I haven't had a fish in I don't know how long, so it's nice to get off the mark. It's a repeat of last year, another 20 from this place, and yeah, it puts us in third place. So for now, I'm going to just get this other rod out that it did wipe out in the battle, get some gear out over the top of it, because I've kind of formulated a plan in my head what I want to do baiting wise on that one spot anyway. And yeah, I'll come back to you and let you know what I'm using in my spod mix and stuff like that. But for now, we're just going to soak up the good work that we've been putting in over the last sort of couple of hours. Appreciate that fish, and
deja vu of last year.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's kind of like repeat of what happened last time. But for now, yeah, we're just going to get ourselves sorted, get a brew on the go, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Right then, so just want to talk you through what I'm using in my spom, you know, my baiting application basically. So I wanted to try something a little bit different, something that I think maybe one or two of the people aren't really using around the lake, and just go down a different line of sort of baiting up really. I wanted to go down the line of not really, you know, ploughing in the boilies or anything like that, just keeping sort of food-based items to a minimum if I'm honest. So I've opted for a few different things to put into the mix, but mainly it's all about the attraction, you know, drawing fish into the area and just getting them grubbing around without really filling them up. So I opted for a few different things. So first off, boilie crumb. Now if you've seen any of sort of my bait tips on the Bait Tech Facebook page and stuff, a lot of people are using boilie crumb at the moment. It's a good way of sort of, like I say, building up a cloud, building up food signals and stuff like that in the mix, but not really feeding them up. So I put a half a kilo or something like that through a crusher just before the weekend. It keeps as well, so as long as you keep it in an airtight container, you know, it's not going to go off or anything like that. So I'm just going to be putting out sort of 5 spoms, 8 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 6 o'clock in the evening. So a good 5 hours between each set of baiting up, just to allow sort of a bit of fresh attraction into the swim, and you'll see why as well from a couple of my other ingredients. So a couple of handfuls of boilie crumb, not a lot because I'm only using the baby spom, the little mini one. So a couple of handfuls of boilie crumb. Next up, I went and got myself some maggots. So popped down to the local Angling Direct, got myself 3 pints of maggots, and I'm literally just going to be using, like I say, dead maggots and live maggots. So I popped a pint in the freezer. That just completely kills them off, so they're not wriggling, they're not going to disappear the minute that you cast them out. So just going to put sort of a pinch of red and a pinch of white. Like I say, I might even be ending up taking most of this lot home, to be honest, but if they start obviously having it, then I've got enough here to, you know, cover me over the weekend. I didn't want to not bring enough and then be sort of left in the predicament of not having enough bait to see me through the weekend. So we've got boilie crumb in there, we've got dead maggot in there. Last but not least, but we've got live maggots. Again, I just kept these in a container in the shed, just nice and cool, so they're not going to get hot or sweaty. Just give them a little douse of salmon fry crumb, just to keep them, like I say, nice and dry. And again, just a little bit of attraction, something that's going to be wriggling around on the lake bed, something that's going to catch a carp's eye, just that little bit of movement. Obviously they're going to be swimming around and just burying themselves in little bits of silt and whatnot, but just this little visual bit of attraction may well just spur a carp on to coming in over your area. So again, just a handful of those, again nothing too crazy. So literally I've got probably less than a spoonful of bait in that bucket, and that's all I really need for, like I say, 5 little mini spoms worth over the top of that one spot. Now last but not least, to finish it off and, like I say, really bring the attraction levels into this little mix, is liquids. Now again, I spoke about this in my little bait tips that I put out every month. Liquids is a massive part of my winter fishing. Again, it gives off loads of signals, loads of attraction, and like I say, it'll bring in fish if they're in and around the area without actually feeding them up. So going to give the mix a real good glug of this. Because I'm putting it out in a mini spom, I don't have to worry about it, you know, dribbling out the back or anything, because the boilie crumb's going to bind it all together. So if you've got any liquids at home, don't be afraid of sticking them in the mix, because they're not going to do any harm. All they're going to do is, like I say, increase the attraction around your sort of hook bait and spotted area. So going to give these a good glug, give it a good mix up. Looks like it's possibly just about to snow now, so good time to get the camera in and get some of this gear out. More of an in-depth to talk about the rig really that I've got and what I'm using on both my rods for the duration of this session. Now, I've been using this rig for a good number of years now, and it's never let me down. I use it for my bottom baits, like my snowmans and my wafters, and it's been a lot of bits and videos and bits and pieces on it on Facebook recently as well, and it's like I say, it's a rig that I've got the utmost confidence using. So it's a slip D rig. Now, components wise, that's quarter semi-stiff in £20. As I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, it's quite supple, even though it's got stiff properties. It's quite supple, but it's obviously, like I say, got enough in it to just kick that hook bait away from the lead, as you're putting the bait out. So it's about 7 inches in length. As you're tying it, you leave a little strip back area of the coating to allow a bit more free movement of the hook, and just to coat where I've broken the coating on it, you just put a little bit of dark matter putty on there, and that just pins it all down. That's shrink tubed over the eye of the hook, and that's down to a quarter curve hook, little mini bait ring swivel. Don't know if you can see that, because obviously the bait's pushed inside. That's one of the new Juice dumbbell 10mm wafters, pellet ones. So they're pellet coloured, so like a neutral colour to match any pellets that you're using in your bags and your PVA mesh, etc. So nice neutral colour, nothing too glaringly obvious. And then that's just mounted onto the bait swivel with a bit of floss pulled through the middle, and then tipped off with an imitation maggot. Now, I'm using, like I say, maggots in the mix, etc., and that's kind of just tipped off to match the hatch really, and match the the free offerings in the PVA bag. So that's the rig in its entirety. 7 inches, all sharp, all compact, nice, neat, tidy. Like I say, finishing that off with a PVA bag as well, and that's what's done me that fish earlier this morning. So both the rods have gone back out. I've mixed up the colour on the island rod as well, just because obviously yellow didn't really do anything over the last 12-14 hours. So I've changed the colour on that one just to freshen it up. The other one's obviously gone back out on the same pellet style colour, because obviously that's the one that's done the fish, so it'd be stupid of me to change that one. So that's the rig wise and a bit more in depth. There is loads of videos online to show you how to tie it. I'm not going to show you myself, because obviously the guys that have put the videos together, rig videos together, will show you in a lot more detail. But one rig I really do recommend using for, like I say, for bottom bait, snowmans and wafter presentations. So let's see what the rest of the day brings, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. So mega quick update. It's just gone 1 o'clock, and nothing else has happened within our swim. A couple of fish have been out around the lake elsewhere, which has unfortunately pushed us down into 4th position. 5 little mini spoms of bait have gone out over the spot, so that's the left-hander that's going out to the island. That's received 5 little mini spoms of bait, so the boilie crumb, the maggots, and all the liquid attractions that have squirted into the bucket as well. So that's going to be seeing regular bait throughout the weekend. So from 4th position to 3rd position, there's only a few pound in it. So if we're lucky enough to have, even just a low double, that's going to put us straight back into the qualifying spots. If we're lucky enough to catch another fish and it's sort of mid double and upwards, that's going to put us probably within 2nd place, within reach of 1st place, because a lot of the fish that are coming out around the lake are smaller, sort of low double fish. For the remainder of the afternoon, until sort of between 5 and 6 o'clock, when I want to get the rods redone for the night, just going to sort of stay tucked up under the brolly, keep our eyes on the water, and just kind of stay out of the snow really. We have had some snow flurries throughout the day, which haven't really yet come to anything, thank God, but tonight it is meant to come down a lot harder. So come sort of 5-6 o'clock, just before dark, want to get the sort of rods sorted for the night, get a bit more fresh bait out into the area, so they're all really sort of settled for that 12-hour period, and then obviously hopefully throughout the night we manage to pick maybe 1 or 2 fish off. But like I say, there only is a small margin between sort of fourth, third and second, so there really is sort of, you know, matter of 1 or 2 fish in it really. I think it is going to go down to the wire and who's going to be maybe lucky enough to nick one on the final day. But good thing is that fish are coming out from sort of all around the lake and not just in one particular area. I think there's only 3 swims now that haven't caught a fish, so they are being caught at different times around the different areas of the lake, which is encouraging. So there's always going to be another chance of nicking another fish. But for now, just going to sit back. Like I say, the snow is starting to trickle down again. The rods are out. We've just had some nice warm soup just to warm ourselves up, because the weather is, like I say, is freezing, the wind is freezing, and obviously this snow's starting to trickle down as well. Ain't really helping the cause, but we've caught a fish. We're in the mix. It's just a matter of trying to stay on top of it and see if we can nick ourselves 1 or 2 extras. So for now, just going to leave it there, and hopefully catch up with you just before dark and let you know how the afternoon's panned out. Right guys, so it's about, what, 5:30, and obviously within the next hour or so, hour and a half, it's going to start getting dark again. So I want to get these rods prepared for the night ahead. Obviously yesterday we didn't get going till like 5, just gone 5, and it was like obviously well over 12 hours until we got that first fish in the net. So I'm going to change something today for tonight, going by what we've seen the previous night and just kind of how it's been today really. So my right hand is going to go back out into the area which we managed to pick that fish up from this morning. Chris has pulled his in a lot short as well, haven't you Chris? Like, you're not fishing on so sort of tight out to the islands anymore, and I'm also
middle of the channels now.
Yeah, so
well, everyone seems to be casting tight to the islands.
Everyone's going to the obvious features, which admittedly we were as well. But we're just changing things up, going by kind of what we've seen and sort of the progress of the weekend.
Going now for sort of like the middle of the channels now, in case the fish are just sort of cutting through straight down the middle. So
Chris is going to try picking them off maybe as they're coming through my left hand. I'm bringing it off the island. So just swing this round a minute. So I was fishing obviously just into this cove, and the birds today have just been savage. Like, even the guys opposite us, fellow Swindoners, they've actually managed to hook one and land one.
Old Tom. Whee!
Yeah,
quack,
unlucky Tom. But yeah, luckily for me, about an hour or so before that actually happened, I got my rod in because they were literally on me. So I've kind of pulled that rod off the island, and I'm just gonna fish sort of out in, well, 20 yards out. It's probably about the same line that we see this fish show last night, and obviously I picked that one up this morning on a short range as well. So I'm going to fish it really close, 20 yards out. I'm going to put three sort of like medium-sized bombs out over the top of this one because it's such close quarters. I don't want to keep faffing around with the little one. Just going to get three medium-sized bombs out onto it. A little bed of bait, like I say, loads of boilie crumb, dead maggot, live maggot, and obviously pumped full of liquid as well. And hopefully that might just draw, you know, if there are fish in that bowl area, or, you know, taking up sanctuary in that deeper water, then that might just nick us another fish. Standings wise, I think we're still in 4th from the last time I saw it at 4 PM, so we do really need another fish, don't we, Chris?
Definitely
need another fish, even another 2 fish really, maybe to kind of secure any sort of final place in the final in July. But for now, we're just going to concentrate our efforts on trying to nick another fish for ourselves through the hours of darkness, if not tomorrow morning, and see how the day pans out. But we've got 24 hours left. It's due to snow tonight as well, around 10 AM for heavy snow for a good 12 hours as well. So it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be easy, but hopefully all our effort is rewarded at some point through the night or tomorrow with another fish. So going to keep everything crossed, keep warm, some good warm grub inside us, keep all wrapped up, and hopefully, like I say, we're rewarded for our efforts. So leave it there. Let's get this gear out, get this rod out in that deep hole, and let's see what the night brings. Good morning, everybody. Well, I say good morning. I don't know whether it's a good morning or what, but this brings back painful memories of a session just before Christmas. Have a look at this. Oh my god. At least a good 2-3 inches of snow. It's not yet stopped. It's due for at least another, I don't know, good 3 or 4 hours at least. And oh, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Fennel's got his dustpan and brush out, giving everything a little brush over. But oh my god, it's not looking good. But still, there's still movement on the water, so there's a chance of a fish or two throughout the day still. I'd like to say what's the temperature saying on the water, but that's somewhere down there. That's somewhere down there. But yeah. Not only is it obviously proper snowing, but somehow we've got to try and get home later as well, which is not going to be great because it's kind of like a single track lane. He's found it. What's it saying, Chris? 6.8. So even though we've had this like 2-3 inches of snow, it's only dropped a couple of degrees. I've not had any action through the night. Chris has not had any action through the night. I think there might have been one fish out early, sort of like early last night maybe, before midnight anyway, to peg 9, a couple of pegs down. But I haven't heard any reports of anything else yet. But this is not cool. But it is what it is. Just got to suck it up, get on with the rest of the day, and see what happens really. So for now I'm going to get this kettle on because I'm absolutely gagging, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Still tucked up under the brolly, and a little bit of an update for you. Unfortunately, due to the mental conditions that we've had sort of overnight, which isn't due to stop, and I think is due to carry on for the best part of the day, and if not get worse, the guys, the marshals who are obviously running the event, etc., have come round to everyone and explained that the match is going to be called off early. Obviously the lane to get to the fishery is a single track country lane. I guarantee that hasn't seen any traffic this morning. Obviously me and Chris have got to get back to Swindon. Everybody's got to try and get home, so the guys have mentioned that they're going to call the match early. They're just going to go and speak to the last peg, and they're going to be sounding the hooter, which means obviously we can pack down, get everything sort of into the cars and start making our way home. We've had a good 6-7 inches of snow. We found out as well that next door in swim 9 they did have a 21-pound fish this morning around 4:30, which obviously has kept us in what, 4th position, but meaning that we'd easily need 2 fish to get ourselves back into the qualifying places. So we're not going to be going through to the final, which is unfortunate. Obviously conditions have played a massive part in this, and you know, it's not something that I knew we was going to get a little bit of snow, but not as torrential as what we've had at the moment. But it is what it is, you can't change it. Obviously I've been lucky enough to catch that 20-pounder myself, so I haven't blanked, luckily for me. You know, Chris, as usual, has been absolutely useless, and for the next one I won't be asking him to join me. But no, we've had a laugh. Like I say, now that just the absolute mission about packing down, you know, getting ourselves home, which ain't going to be easy. It's not, you know, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet, you know, and everything's going to be packed away and stuff, and you know, so. But yeah, thanks for watching this vlog. Like, I'm sorry it's got cut short and whatever else, but that's fishing, that's English weather, it is what it is. Like I say, I'm just lucky enough to be able to catch that fish obviously on that following morning, that Saturday morning. So yeah, from me and the Carp King, thanks for watching, thanks for your support throughout the weekend leading up to the event. It's been really nice hearing from you guys and wishing us luck and stuff like that. So I'm going to start packing everything down. I'm going to feed the birds the remaining maggots that I've got left over. I think they deserve them at least. And yeah, get this lot packed down. Try and keep everything at least as dry and as as clean as possible. Got all my new luggage and bits and pieces out, so I'm already squirming the fact that they're gonna be covered in who knows what. So let's get everything sorted and get on the road, and I will catch up with you guys very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. So that's everything packed into the car. Well, I say packed, more than likely just stuffed in, to be quite honest with you. Everything's drenched, everything's just caped, wet through, you name it. It's all over it, and it's killing me because it's all my new, obviously, Witchwood luggage, and I'm quite anal about all my stuff and keeping it all tidy and stuff like that, because it obviously does come into the flat with me. So I'm really quite anal about keeping my gear sort of clean and tidy. So that lot back there is absolutely killing me. Obviously going to be a bit of a mission now, getting home probably, as well as another mission, getting that lot sorted out as well. So again, thanks for watching the video. I'm glad to have caught my first fish of 2018. Nice 20-pounder, so hopefully that's you know, things to come for the year. But again, thanks for watching, everyone. It's all getting steamed up in here, so I need to get the blowers on, but we're gonna have a safe journey, stick together on the way home, and we'll catch you sometime soon on the live feeds. Thanks again, guys. Cheers for watching.